Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of equations for parallel lines. This is standard A.2E in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 44 of the 2023 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have a graph showing point P in line M, and we need to find an equation and they give it to us, slope-intercept form. It's going to best represent a line that passes through point P and is parallel. Okay, so this is very important, right? So we want it to be parallel to line M. So we want that parallel line right there, and we want it to be parallel to this. So you know what, if it's going to be a slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, they don't give us anything about m, but I need to know a little bit about m before I can write a line that's parallel to this. And so let's find a few points here. So I'm looking for points that looks like the line is passing solidly through some integers, and I see that right there on m, so that's going to be my x-intercept, right, of my x of 2, y of 0. Then looks like that's pretty solid right there, that y-intercept, right? So that x of 0, y of negative 3. Okay, so if I have this, I can do everything I need to figure out the slope-intercept form of line M. Right now I could calculate my m as my change in y over the change in x, right? That's how we calculate slope. Also, since I have a graph, right, I can say, all right, so I'm going minus 2, minus 3, right? It's a change in y, so it's going to end up being minus 3 over minus 2. So that's going to just end up being positive 3/2. So that's my slope. I could substitute some values to find the y-intercept, but they give it to us right here. It's negative 3. Okay, so this whole line right here looks like it's going to be y equals 3/2 x, and then my y-intercept, right? That's what that b is minus 3. Now, why is this important? Because I don't need m, I need p, and let's see if that's even an answer. Okay, so they don't give you that as an answer selection. I was wondering if they'd give you that to try to mess you up. Well, what we know, I'm going to switch colors here. What we know is that parallel lines have identical slopes, right? If they don't have the identical slope, eventually they would intersect, right? So we need a line that looks exactly like it's got the same slope here, which means, you know what, I'm going to go over 2, down 3, okay? I could do that again, over 2, 1, 2, 3, down 3, okay? So I can kind of use this as a guide. And I can, let's see, just kind of draw my line through here. If I kind of do that, right? It's not the straightest line in the world, but we can at least see, we know what our slope is, okay? So our slope for our new line is going to be y equals, we know it has to be 3/2 x to be parallel. All I need is, I need to find that y-intercept, okay? And my line got squiggly, and even if you could draw it perfectly, still calculate it, right? So what we need is, we need an xy value, okay? So I'm going to do my negative 4, negative 1. Let's just plug that in, okay? So my y is negative 1. Oops, 3/2. My x is negative 4. And let's just solve for b. Okay, so that's going to be negative 12 over 2, so that's going to be negative 6. Right, or you could just kind of do like that. And then I just need to add 6 to both sides. And look what we get. B equals 5. So I was way off. It needs to be more up there. There we go. That looks a little bit better. So put that together, and you're going to get y equals 3/2 x. Remember, identical slopes if it's parallel, but it's got a different y-intercept. It's got a plus 5. And so we look down here, that's C, and that is our answer.